everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about stupid things influencers say, particularly beauty influencers. I got this idea from Wayne Goss. He did a similar video on his channel, and I believe he published it last week or so, but that was a brilliant video. I watched it and I was inspired to do my own version of stupid things beauty influencers say, and I'm talking about beauty influencer from the biggest to the smallest, from the entire spectrum, no matter what background, no matter what subject matter you basically have on the internet, you're bound to say some stupid things. And in this video, I'm going to be shining a light on some of the stupid things that I've heard said, and I may have said some of these things, but that's because I say stupid things all the time. But yeah, there's that. The very first thing that I have to say that I see people say all the time, have I said this? I hope I've not said this, but describing a product in a review as the best product or the best shade in that category of makeup, you know? I remember a influencer, who I'm not going to mention in this video, but an influencer, a larger influencer, but this could easily have been coming from a smaller influencer, basically swatched a red eyeshadow and said that this was the best red in the industry, which is not the case because there are literally so many brands bringing out red eyeshadows, more than we have ever seen before, and you cannot possibly have tried every single brand that produces red eyeshadows. So that's just my thing. Like, whenever people do that with eyeshadow, with lip products, with foundation, like, just stop basically generalizing. Stop saying that the product that you're holding in your hands is the best product in the category, because chances are it's probably not, and it is physically impossible to go across the world and try every single product that is from that category and discern which product is the best. It's impossible. I would like people to stop using it in their videos because it's really quite misleading. I would like to see people say it's the best product that I've tried, you know, or it's the best product in this category that I've tried, and let me compare it to something else that I've tried, you know? I feel like that's a little bit smarter, and it's useful for the consumer that's watching that video to have that information, instead of just saying this is the best when it's not. It's not going to be the best in that category. It's not going to be. You cannot be the judge of that. Nobody can, because everybody's different, and also because nobody can actually physically try every single product of that category across the world. It is impossible. The next thing, when people say that this is the only way to apply this certain product, or this is the only way to use this technique, or this is the only way to do this or that, you know, like when people basically try to dictate how other people apply their makeup or how other people do their routine, I feel like that is a stupid thing that people say and try and push in videos, because everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody has something that works for them. I don't like the entire concept of makeup rules. I think it's just very misleading in and of itself, and I have said on many occasions that I prefer to break them and do my own thing. And I also think that many different people have their own ways of doing things, and people see beauty in different ways. The most beautiful makeup look in somebody's mind might be the most mundane, boring, ugly, unattractive makeup look in somebody else's mind, and the most amazing, fanciful, colorful look might be the most icky look to somebody else, or the most unblended eyeshadow might be the most beautiful thing to somebody else. It is like I think that it's just not the wisest thing to be trying to use your platform, big or small, to dictate how people should be doing their makeup. I think it's better to advise people how to do their makeup, and yes, in some cases, it might come across as trying to push your narrative onto somebody else, but in general, I think it's better to be attentive, for everybody to be attentive, myself included, to realizing that everybody has their own way of doing their makeup, and makeup in and of itself is an art and is so personal. You should not really be trying to to dictate or trying to be telling people that this is the correct way or the only way to be doing a certain technique or to be using a certain product, because everybody has their own way of doing things, and that's just the way it is. Also, the next point is kind of similar to my first point. When people say that that a particular product is the first of its kind or the first of its kind in a certain category, I feel like I've said this before on some occasions, and I'm trying not to say this because, again, it is impossible for every single person to have complete and full knowledge of the beauty community, of the beauty industry, because you have brands big and you have brands that are very small. You have brands that have been around for ages and you have brands that are new and up and coming. So therefore, it is not necessarily the best decision or the most informed decision if you're saying that a product is the first of its kind. It is a tactic that brands use to advertise their product. They like to say that a product is the first of its kind, even when it probably isn't, so I feel like we as influencers, we have to sort of be attentive to the fact that we cannot know the ins and outs of every single aspect of the industry, and we cannot say this is the first of its kind without some shadow of doubt, And I think that I'm going to try and be more attentive to this myself. This is something that I have to be a little bit more attuned to, because saying something is the first of its kind is kind of a stupid thing to say, because nobody can be that informed. That's just a fact of life. Nobody can be that informed as to confidently have the right to say that a product is the first of its kind when it probably hasn't been, You can say that it's the first that you've seen or the first type of product that you've, tried, but saying it's the first of its kind, I feel like that's kind of stupid. Okay, so this next thing is a little bit of a personal, petty kind of thing, but I just want to share this with you because I feel like that this is a stupid thing that influencers say and do, and it kind of grinds my personal gears, but let me know if you agree with me in the comments below or if you don't. But I think it's stupid when influencers in general, particularly if you have like a huge audience of like millions and millions of fans that are watching your channel or watching your social media accounts, when you basically start ranting about like really first world problems, when you're ranting about like a nail being broken or about a store or like a restaurant not having like the particular drink or the particular food item that you want. I'm trying to be general because I don't want to bash on any specific people in this particular video, because it's not that kind of video, because I feel like everyone does this to some extent. But I feel that the beauty industry in general, so many of us in the beauty industry, we just need a reality check every now and then, and we need a really good one, because a lot of people love to basically make it look like their problems are like the most major problems ever. And I get it if in your little bubble this is a really big problem, or like this specific thing is a really big problem, and you should not be barred from feeling a certain way about some aspect or something that might be happening in your life. But when you're talking about your nails, or when you're talking about your hair extensions, or when you're talking about something so fickle, or when you're talking about like a Starbucks not like having like your particular drink order, like just stop it. Like just take a deep breath and stay offline. Like just stay offline if you're feeling that way, because it's just really, like, I feel like it's really rude, and it's really disrespectful to people who actually have valid issues. I mean, there are people that are worried about whether or not they'll be able to pay rent, that are worried about, like, whether or not they'll be able to, get out of credit card debt, or like, there are people that are literally starving, and there are people that are being persecuted, and it's just that I feel that in this age of social media, we have been just really focused on stupid problems. I mean, if people spent as much time worrying about really significant and troubling issues in their own area as they do worrying about like really just fickle and insignificant things that are really not a big deal at all, I feel like the world would be such a better place. And I just think that people should take a deep breath and just stop like using their social media platforms as their own personal place to vent, especially if you have millions of followers, because then like what are you doing with your life? Part of your image is basically talking about like stupid problems that you're just dealing with and you think that everybody should know about. I don't think it's really wise to be building this following, working hard, and then talking about like these really small and insignificant issues to your audience of millions. I think it's kind of stupid. I think it's really irritating and I don't like it. Also, this is another thing. I feel that we should all do this. We should all work on this, me included, everybody else. We should work on thinking before we speak and post. Like, I think it's a stupid thing that influencers, big and small, do and say when they forget about the people that are watching them, when they forget what it is to act respectfully and to act professionally, because there are so many people on the internet that just say whatever comes into their head, or they do whatever comes into their head, and they in that moment don't think about the consequences, and even later they don't even think about the consequences. And it's like, even if you have 10 followers, like even if you have 10 subscribers on YouTube, you have a responsibility to those 10 subscribers to be respectful and to basically have to spread positivity in a way. It's okay to be negative. It's okay. It's fine. But just be respectful. Like, that is my key like request. Like, that is what I want people to be. I want people to be more respectable and respectful, and I want them to be more attentive to what's going on. Like, I want people to think before they speak or post. I don't like seeing people get hurt, and in like so many instances, people get hurt because people decide to forget about thinking before they speak or post, and it just gets into a mess. And that is a stupid thing that influencers say and do, and that in itself is so broad, because you can say so many different things without even meaning to, or you can mean those things and you can say them, and then people really get hurt, and it's just not a good thing for anybody. I'm gonna close with this next thing that I definitely think a lot of influencers say, which is a stupid thing. Basically trying to insinuate that they know the ups and downs, the ins and outs of a product after only trying it once or twice or even 3 times. That they know what a product is about after trying it only a handful of times, and they know everything there is to know about the performance, about the wearability, about the blendability, of how like it looks. See, the thing about this current social media culture, or like this current beauty industry, I don't like how everything is so quick, I don't like how it's normal for people to basically construct their opinions on a product so quickly and then share it with like the entire world. I don't like how people basically feel the need to say that they know everything there is to know about a product after only trying it once. I think that is very misleading. I think that is very inconsiderate, because no matter how big or how small you are, you're not going to magically know everything there is to know about a product. So you saying to your audience of 10 fans or to your audience of 10 million fans that you know everything there is to know about any product whatsoever after only trying it once or twice, that is misleading, and that is really like irresponsible, and I don't like it at all. There are first impressions, and then there are actual reviews, and I think that there should be a defining line between those two things, because those two things are completely different, and I think that's stupid the way that influencers are kind of meshing those two things together. I think that's really irresponsible. No matter how talented you are, no matter how long you've been in this industry, you cannot tell me that you can try a product once and instantly know what it's all about. You can try a product once and really not like it, and that's okay, but don't think that you know everything there is to know about a product, because you really, like, you actually don't. And I think that myself, and other people really have to like have a handle on that, because we as influencers, and like I said, no matter how big or small your audience is, if you're posting content online and you're talking about a product, you have a responsibility to your audience to basically give accurate information. And if you are giving inaccurate information, then that's just not a good thing at all, and that's really irresponsible, and that's kind of stupid. But anyway, that is all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that it was in gosh, I can't speak. Take two. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Ooh, that went well. I'm proud of myself.